I am now in the studio with Helen Harrison. Hi, Helen.
Hello, Georgia. How are you?
I'm very well. So today, Helen and I are talking about bringing passion back into your relationship. Now, Helen is a marriage therapist, trauma counsellor and transformational coach, and she's the author of Inner Wealth, From Pain to Purpose. And Helen helps couples heal from trauma, reconnect in their relationship. And Helen's mission is to help people move from burnout and breakdown to clarity, connection and purpose. Big job ahead of you there, girl. So welcome back into the studio, and I just want to let our listeners know that excuse me, that you are going to be with us once a month now for the next 6 months. Is that right?
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So what's happened in the last month in your world, Helen?
Oh, goodness me. Where do I begin and how long have we got?
Oh, not long. Hurry up.
Yes. No, life's good. It's
good. You're going all right. I know you're
yeah.
very busy with the suicide prevention at the moment and a whole range of stuff going on there for Saturday night. So, yeah. So, today we're going to talk all things relationship and what happens if you lose your passion and you want it back. So what is passion?
So I think passion is another code word for intimacy. So intimacy is that intimate relationship that you have with your partner, and there is no other person that you're going to have that with. You know, if you're married, it will be your partner. And intimacy is one of the first things that begins to lessen, and that's where the heartache begins.
Okay, but is passion a feeling? Does it come and go? Is it there 24/7?
No. Do you think it's there 24/7?
God, no.
No, absolutely not. So passion, it's a feeling, it's action, I talk in energy. You know, it's sort of being in flow and being connected. And, you know, go back when you're in a relationship the first couple of years. I mean, there is a huge amount of passion, isn't there? You know, that intimate connection where you're just in sync, you're in flow, your partner's just wonderful.
Are you talking about when we were rabbits?
They can do nothing wrong. Almost infatuation. But what magically begins to happen around the 12-month mark, 18-month mark, is, they're starting to irritate me. They're starting to annoy me. That didn't used to annoy me. Why is it annoying me now? And so that infatuation, it begins to disappear. So this is where a relationship begins to change, because this is where it starts going into more love and connection and closeness and bringing moments of passion in. But the biggest thing that I see is passion, i.e. intimacy. It stops. I mean, there's so many different reasons, but, you know, a big one I see is parents are so worn out, they're exhausted, they're raising kids, you know, they've got a to-do list that's that long. They haven't even got time for themselves. So how are they meant to get themselves in that, space where they're welcoming to passion and feel it in their own body?
Yeah, right. So, but is there something wrong with me if I don't feel the passion in my relationship? Because, you know, maybe we have been together for 20 years and we've kind of grown into a deeper friendship more so than a passionate, intimate relationship.
That's a really good question. It's so common.
Right.
And so, no, there's nothing wrong with you, but I believe in a relationship, for it to go long term, you've got to evolve and grow, both of you. So it's being able to understand yourself and have awareness within yourself. If you're perhaps being triggered, if you're perhaps got some similar patterns that you've had for decades and a bit of resentment is going on inside of you, it really is having your own awareness that okay, I'm noticing some differences in me. I'm not wanting to spend as much time with my partner, so I'm avoiding them, or I'm not sort of touching them, kissing them hello and goodbye, not sitting on the same couch together. It's having an awareness in yourself, okay, something's changing inside of me. I'm not actually enjoying being around my partner like I used to.
So it's a bit like so I might be passionate about music, for example. So I listen to music and it stirs my emotions, yes. So if I'm passionate about my partner, well, obviously if I'm listening, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to stir those emotions. Is that what you mean by...
Oh, very, very, very similar, and I love how you've put that. We put energy and time into things that we... appreciate and we value. If we value our relationship, so say for example you're listening to this and you're going, oh yeah, I'm really relating to what you're saying. Mm-hmm. It's, well, what can I begin to do to bring back some intimacy, bring back some passion? The passion that you had, in your 20s is going to be very different to the passion that you have in your 50s.
Yes, you're a lot wiser in your 50s.
Yes. Are you?
Maybe. Not everybody. I'm not talking across the board.
I've really lost my train of thought, Georgia.
Sorry about that. Okay. So do relationships need passion to survive?
Look, it depends on who you speak to. I have couples who they have no intimacy, yet they've got so many other elements to their relationship that are going really well. They're very compatible. They've got their family, they travel, they've got similar values, they've got a similar vision. But the actual physical part of their relationship, yes, it's so much less, and that intimacy is no longer there. If both parties are okay with that, then yes, but it gets into difficulty when you've got one partner who's craving intimacy, craving passion, and the other person isn't.
So can I just go back to something that you said a little bit before, and it was about being triggered. Now, if there's the relationship, the couple, and they're being triggered, one of the things that, to me, that can destroy passion is if you're trying to discuss that trigger with your partner, and your partner really doesn't want to deal with your stuff. How is that managed to... Because, couples talk and they want to talk about their deep stuff, but sometimes they don't have the skills to manage that deep stuff. But then, what do I be told? Go away and go and sort it out with a counsellor. So, that passion would kill in those circumstances. So how could that be problem solved?
So if you are in a moment where you have been triggered, ideally it's being able to take yourself away and attend to that trigger. I mean, we could do a whole segment on how you attend to triggers.
Sure.
A trigger is when you're in the fight, flight or freeze. Your nervous system's been activated and we become almost childlike. Have you noticed that you can get angry and 10 minutes ago you were absolutely fine, or the wall goes up? So something I see a lot, particularly from men go, I don't know what to do when my partner is triggered. And something that can be hugely helpful is just listen. Listen. The eyes are the window to the soul. If your partner is being triggered, you don't have to fix it. You don't have to put the fix-it hat on. You actually don't have to do anything but hold space so that your partner feels safe to actually be vulnerable enough to be able to talk about what they're feeling.
So if I was coming to see you then, and in that scenario, who am I working with? The person that's triggered or the person that can't understand how I've got to manage those skills?
No, you're working with yourself and your own triggers.
Right.
If you're triggered, so if I bring it back to me for a moment, I've spent decades on my triggers.
Me too.
Yes. And I know I will for the rest of my life.
Uh-huh.
But they're nowhere as severe, long, and I don't shut down. I don't go to the freeze state like I used to.
Yeah.
Or put the walls up and be very defensive. I used to call it my comfy couch. It was sort of sitting it for a couple of weeks. It was oozy and black, and because I just didn't know how to deal with my triggers. That's my responsibility. I've got to clean that up.
So I can't expect my partner to do that.
Oh gosh, no. And don't be your therapist to your partner or your coach or your mother or your father.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what then do we have from that scenario that you would experience in your therapy room? People have tried to fix the wife or the...
It doesn't
Does that get a
work.
little bit ugly?
Yeah, it does. It really, really doesn't work. So if you are triggered, that is your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're on the receiving end and you're with someone who gets triggered, your job is to stay regulated. It's when both of the couple have been triggered, it's very childlike. You know, it's like two teenagers having a bit of a carry-on because neither of them are regulating.
So with triggers, what would I be doing? Like kicking the wall or throwing something or telling somebody that you don't like them anymore? Or is that kind of some of the behaviours that people do in a triggered state in couples?
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Okay, yeah. So
well, we freeze for quite a few people, and that used to be mine, was I just shut down. I couldn't speak. I didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
Which is quite ironic. I'm now on the radio talking about this.
That's fabulous.
Which I'm very passionate
I
about.
can relate to you. Yes, very strongly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's such a personal... So we talk about intimacy.
So you found your passion back.
Oh, totally.
Awesome.
But intimacy is intimacy.
Yeah.
If you want to have an intimate relationship with your partner, you've got to have that with yourself first and have the awareness. That's the number one. So noticing in any given moment what you're feeling, you know, and be able to... A really great place to start is name it.
Yeah.
Is actually name what you're feeling. Look, when I first started seeing a counsellor in my 30s and she said to me, "How do you feel, Helen?" I had no idea.
Right.
I didn't know how to name what I was feeling.
Yes, I was very similar, Helen, so I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I used to have a piece of paper with all the faces on it so that I could understand what my feeling was actually, you know, and that was in my 30s as well.
Yes.
It wasn't something taught to us by our parents, right?
Sad, mad or glad.
Yeah.
But it's really intriguing when you start to get to know yourself and start to listen to what's actually going on. If we bring it back to passion and intimacy, how passionate your relationship is dependent on how alive, aware and passionate you are with yourself.
Yes.
How can you have that with somebody else if you don't have that with yourself?
Well, you can't give away what you don't have, right?
Love it.
Yeah.
You can't give from an empty cup. And to be reliant on your partner to give you that?
Yeah.
No.
It's a big ask.
Isn't it?
Even if it would ever happen. Well, thanks, Helen. I'm going to just take a break, and we okay to come back very shortly?
Yes. Oh, look, I could talk about this all day.
Yeah, me too. Listening to Bay FM 100.3, and I'm in the studio with Helen Harrison, who's going to have a segment with us once a month on all sorts of topics. But today our topic is talking about how to create and bring passion back into the relationship. And if you've just joined us, Helen and I were talking about how, you know, we've got to work on ourselves and become passionate and get that vitality in life to be able to ooze that bit of kind of passionate energy towards somebody else, because we've, you know, learnt about our triggers, we've learnt about who we are and how we're coping and our communication style. So, Helen, welcome back. I've got a few more questions for you. You up for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, first, I was wondering, like, we've talked about all that. So is it possible that you could give our listeners some practical examples of being able to bring back that passion and intimacy into their relationships?
Yes, absolutely. I think a place to start is like small appreciations or showing appreciation. So just little daily thanks, recognition, particularly if that is your partner's love language. I mean, that's another topic for another day, but Google love languages. There's 5 of them. Work out what yours is and work out what your partner's is.
What's yours, Helen?
Good question.
Oh, mine's acts of service.
Yes. Quality time and physical touch are quite up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have 2 as well.
Oh, I can have as many as I like.
You can.
I'll take the 5. No.
A big one,
Yeah.
which gobsmacks me, is couples not finding even just 10 minutes a day, phones off, the children are off, everything's a bit quiet, and you just connect.
Right.
And it's not talking about the kids or work. It's just talking about where you're at.
It's
what
like
are you
kind
feeling?
of saying, how are you?
Yeah.
Like, how are you really?
That's right.
Like, what's going on for you? Because most couples probably wouldn't even know that throughout a day, you know.
No.
What their actual, you know, situation is in a day. He's at work or she's at work or he's at home or she's at home and they're not there to have the experience with each other of what's happening. So that's why it's so important to hear that by the end of the day, yeah?
Absolutely, and particularly if you're with an introverted person who doesn't really want to share their inner world, if you don't create that space for them to be able to do it, they're just going to keep it inside.
Okay, so we'll tick that off. Introverts, extroverts, another session.
Yes.
But some other practical...
look, a big one's communication. When people come in, it's talking about communication. So actively listening, like really listen to your partner. You know, like you were saying, minimal responding, like actually just be there. Like I said earlier, the eyes are the window of the soul. Also, I think a big one, shake it up. Do something different. Go for a walk. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Pack a picnic. Go to the beach.
What about have an affair? Well, I'm asking because that's what a lot of people do when they can't communicate with each other.
Correct. It's very common because it often starts at work and this person is showing you time and care and wants to hear what you've got to say, which isn't happening in your relationship so much. So I wouldn't encourage you to, because that's another whole...
Well, the thing I like about what we just said is that leads us on to our next week's topic, which is all about trust, right?
Totally.
So we would then realise that if we're having an affair because we can't communicate in our own relationship or bring back the passion in our own relationship, then obviously the trust then is broken. So that's the topic for next week, which will be fabulous to talk
next
to couples.
Month.
Oh, sorry, month. Oh, I'm happy to do this weekly. I really like it. Okay.
So, and just touching in on that, trust issues in marriage, it can be as simple as, you know, broken promises, or like I was saying, that lack of communication. And I think something to perhaps sort of finish up with, which we haven't mentioned, which I think is hugely helpful, is asking yourself if you're living in a bit of a fantasy of how you would like your partner to be. I think that's a really big one. And that could be a topic for another month as well, is when we live in a fantasy or have an expectation. And often you can get on socials and compare and look at their relationship and look at how much passion is in theirs.
Right.
That is going to set you up for a lot of heartache. It's actually being able to come back into the moment, right here, right now, and get really real with what is actually happening in your relationship, and to be able to communicate it really honestly from the heart.
I have this thing on my fridge, it's a sticker, and it says, well, as soon as I've changed you enough into what I want you to be, we're going to have the perfect relationship.
That takes me, I'll never forget, I was driving and good old Oprah, I remember pulling the car over because she said, whatever you do, often in a relationship, we live in the potential of how we would like our partner to be.
Right.
Believe them the first time. They're showing you who they are. And I remember pulling the car over and thinking, wow, that is very, very true. We live in the potential. This is a question that I do ask couples. Can you love your partner right in this moment just as they are? Not in the potential when they lose weight or when they stop drinking or when they help you around the house or they're a better parent. Can you love them now?
What's the majority of the answers to that one? No, just kidding. Okay, so... I just want to say thanks so much, Helen, for coming in. We'll see you again on the 22nd of October.
Yes. And actually, you don't have to thank me because I love this and I'm, speaking about what I'm passionate. And if it helps somebody in some little way just to change an action step, it's... Because the biggest thing we can think all this, change something, pick something today and change it.
Beautiful information. But one thing I'd also like to say, if you've got a question for Helen or you'd like to for her to bring in a topic and have a chat about it, you can give just pop me an email, georgia@bayfm.org.au, and I can present those questions to you next month if the public want to get involved.
Yes.
Don't be shy.
Yes.
We aren't.
Love it.
Thanks so much again, Helen. Really enjoy your time in here and look forward to seeing you at 12:30 on the 22nd of October.
Lovely. Thank you, Georgia.